Hey, Motorman here, and I'm back at Newport Richey Harley-Davidson. And the reason I'm back here is because I got a call, said they got in the new 2021 Street Bob. And I'm about to take it for a ride. But let's do a little walk around first. It's got the 114 motor. Last year you could only get the 107 on this bike, and weighing in somewhere around 645 pounds, this should be a pretty fast motorcycle. Cruiser, power cruiser, whatever you want to call it, or bobber. It does have a bobbed rear fender. But with that 114, this bike should really move. I like the blacked out look. By the way, this white color, I think they call it stone-washed white. Looks very sharp on this motorcycle. These come in black with a orange graphic right here on the tank. I like the graphic too, by the way. And a orange color, which looks sharp. And I think there's one other color, but I'm not positive. I'll put the colors up on here. And this is a minimalist motorcycle. That's what a bobber is, let's face it, minimalist motorcycle. This year, the price jump on this bike is about, I believe, $450. For that, you're getting the 114 motor. You're getting a passenger pillion, which Street Bob had never had before, and of course passenger pegs. Now this passenger pillion, this is right here, this is perfect for the guy whose wife always rides with him, but he'd rather she get her own bike. So you put her on the passenger pillion on this motorcycle, and in 15 minutes she's going to want to get the hell off there and get her own motorcycle, because let's face it, that's not the most comfortable thing. ABS is an option, $750. I always tell people, make sure you go for that extra money and get the ABS, because it's a lifesaver. So all right, let's take it for a ride. First thing I notice on the bike is a very low seat height. I believe it's somewhere around 26 inches or so. There'd be very few people wouldn't be able to flat foot this motorcycle. Riding position, get feet up slightly, it's mid controls. That means if you're very tall, yeah, you probably want to put forward controls on this bike, but you know, if you're 5'10" or under, there shouldn't be a problem with the mid controls. With these mini apes, you got plenty of pullback. In other words, you could adjust these handlebars backwards or forwards to your liking. Oh man, that's got all kinds of power. With 650 pounds or so and 114 cubic inch motor. I think these put out, it's tough to get horsepower figures, but somewhere around 88 to 90 horsepower stock. And that's before you put a stage 1 kit or anything on it. All kinds of power and torque. And torque is what you feel. It's not horsepower, it's torque. And I think these are 115 or 120 foot-pounds of torque. I have to check that, but a fairly light motorcycle like this, it makes it seem like this is a very, very quick motorcycle and fun to ride. Turning is beautiful. I've never been through this subdivision before. It's pretty new, but I figure there'll be less traffic in here. around this little roundabout. Test that lean angle a little bit more. It feels very stable leaned over. By the way, I'm in second gear here. Now I've got the 114 motor, of course, on my Police Electric Glide and my Road King and the Lowrider. So I'm very familiar with it. Very little vibration getting through to the rider on this motorcycle. The seat, I think, is a slight improvement over last year. It feels to have enough padding. I mean, this is not a bike you're going to take on a very long ride or to go touring on, but you know, you put windshield on here, or Memphis Shades fairing, and some saddlebags, which are all available for the bike already, and no problem taking it out on a 500-mile-a-day ride. You might need a more of a touring oriented seat for it. Very smooth motor, lots of acceleration. Just a fun bobber to ride. The ride is on the firm side, no doubt about that. But remember, this is a brand new motorcycle. Now that was about 3/4 throttle. And man, this bike, this is fast. If you want to make a motorcycle faster, just add some lightness. That means take off some weight. I don't believe that the 114 adds any weight over the 107. If it is, it'd be negligible. But and by the way, the 107 is fine on this motorcycle. It's not lacking for power in any way. But you know, more power is always more fun. And yes, I saw that coming. That's why I was off the throttle. Always expect the unexpected. Even if they see you, they'll still pull right out in front of you. Now this would make a great bike for somebody, say a re-entry rider, somebody who's hasn't ridden in a few years, takes the basic motorcycle course and gets something like this, or as a second bike, just a fun bike to ride when you're not taking a long trip. I mean, that's the ideal thing, is if you've got a touring bike for the the long rides, and a bike like this for around town or 50-75 mile ride in a day. I believe that this is going to be a big seller for Harley-Davidson, especially because, as I said, they've only jacked up the price with the 114 motor of about, I think it's $450 it comes to, and you are getting a lot more for your money than you were in with the 2020 model with the 107, because you're getting the bigger motor, you get the pillion pad, you get the foot pegs, and I really like the graphics they did on the bike. Even the basic black, which you're not paying anything extra for, it's got that very large orange graphic on the tank that just makes it look terrific. Harley does a great job with their paint schemes and paint quality and the graphics. So if you say to yourself, hey Motorman, would you buy a bike like this? Yeah, I sure would. There's only one thing that stands in my way for getting another motorcycle, That's yeah, you've seen her in my videos. My wife. She's under the crazy idea that you should only have one motorcycle. And since, well, I've already got 4. Had 7 at one time, but they're down to 4. She would probably get, how should I say this? Maybe a little anxiety if I went and bought another motorcycle. Now, by the way, in this type of motorcycle, the bobber style bikes, they are meant to be, as I said, minimalist motorcycles. I hope you enjoyed this. And by the way, I hope you subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up.